Right, let's have our first look at Macrobius. Haven't read it before, but it should be interesting. 1. Many and various matters in this life, for us, vocative, what is it? Eusticus, my son, I'm guessing. Nature has reconciled or given us, there's the dative going with that, was made for us. But nothing, we've got more than of those things which from us devinks us, which tie us to the dative, which tie us to our dear creations or our children. And I guess that's nature. She, in educating these and eruditing them, so in educating children, be rearing them, and eruditing is giving them instruction. Volwitz, so this would be, and she wants us to have some care or something in rearing them as parents, or so that parents, there's a negative, nequi, if this thing what they desire seeds from their centennia, comes from what their feelings or intentions are, tantum any other pleasure. Okay, so voluptas is pleasure. So neither is there anything in this matter of pleasure, nor if it turns out contra, or if it turns out contrary to what they have in their hearts. There's tantum again. Are they able to take such a amount of grief, meror? So if things turn out well rearing their children, they get pleasure. If things turn out bad in rearing children, there's pain or something. 2. Hinkes, I'll take it as this is, what to me also is thought, nothing antiquus. Okay, so this is a comparative. Antiquus by itself usually means in the olden times, but if you use it comparatively, it would be the anti bit means preferably or before. So if something should be thought more important, maybe in your institution or in your learning, to the perfection of this, I antipone, that's anti again, meaning place in front. I'll be placing in front compendiums, which are shortcuts, preferable to long amphrectibus, I think there, and maybe there's an alternate spelling, but prefers shortcuts to long windings around and very circuitous learning, and impatient of all types of mora, of delays or whatever. I shall not wait, so that promovius, so that you can move forwards through these alone. Okay, so it's got a nod, so that not through this you will move through these alone. In which, what have we got, a gerundive thing there. Navita is an adverb, means briskly or with energy. Invigilating means staying up late and or being alert, and edisking means learning. So that so he's impatient of delays. He's not waiting that you learn through season himself, but also taking vigils and learning. But I'll do it so that when I read to you, and whatever it is to me, that either was produced now in the light, okay, probably means back then because it's in the past, or before you were born. Antiquam means before, nascris means born. So anything that are produced in the light now, or that anything that was to me before you were born, in diverse volumes, different volumes, either of Greek or Roman tongue, which were elaborated or worked hard on. This totem sit tibi scientius supellex. Supellex usually means furniture or paraphernalia. So all this storage of science or knowledge, and as if from a quodam penno. That's also a storehouse, usually for food. So supellex is usually furniture, and penno is usually food. But all this scientific storehouse of knowledge and whatever is also in certain litarum, so in certain books, I'm guessing, or letters he's learned from. Sequando, when taken together, means whenever, or if ever it happens, there should come some use or need of history. Whatever's constructed in there, we've got books again. Laying hidden in vulgo means commonplace storehouses of books, maybe. So if ever comes the need something of history, which is lying hidden in books which are publicly available or something, or if dicti, things said, or facti, or things done, for remembering these memorable things, easily for you, Tibby, invented. There should be a finding, and the prompto means it should be ready at hand. So he's done all this studying for his son, even before he was born, to learn things from books and history which could be useful for him, I think it means. Okay, so here's a daily dictionary. In comparative and superlative, that is before or first in rank or importance, more or celebrated, more famous, more preferable or better, antiquior. So I don't actually think it was comparative, but it seemed to be used comparatively. This is antiquus, which usually means something's been done before, old, ancient, former. Anyway, let's move on. 3. Neither in digeste tam quam in a curvum. Here's a verb. So neither have we congressimus, we haven't piled everything together into a heap. In digesti probably means disorderly. But digna memoratus, so it's things that are worthy of being remembered. He's gathered together into a pile, not in today. You could probably Google that. But disparal of various things. Dispar means they're not the same sort of things that are gathered together. They're diverse in their authors. They're confused or mixed in their times. Ita, thus, so is in a certain corpus digesta. So it's a body of work which is all digested and put together. So there's digest up there as well. And things which are indistinct, so they'd be separate, and promiscu means mixed together. We have a note of verbs, so we've noted these together to a subsidiary of memory. So this is something that helps usually. So he's gathered things separately and mixed together, which will be of help to your memory. They're in order. Insta means just as, usually for something bigger, but it always takes a genitive. Just as a fitting or congruent things of a coherence of members. So all these different topics are like the members or the limbs, and they're all stuck together basically, he's saying. 4. Nec mihi vitio virtes. Could be a double dative or something. So don't turn these things to me as some sort of vice or wrongdoing. If certain things from the lection, from the reading, I have changed variously or something. So basically, he's read things and changed things. He's talking to his son again. Often with these words themselves from these authors themselves, so he's explicating. So he's unrolling or bunching together lots of work that he's read from various people for narration or to be narrated. So if they're literal words, don't put any fault or blame on him. Because what have we got? Present work or something is not an ostentation of eloquence. It's not a display of eloquence, but a congery, which is a massing together of things to be known. It promises to be. So it's promised to be a mass of things worth knowing. Et boni consulus oportet. So take that as a verb. You should consult or think of this, think of the good. It ought to be that you take counsel of the good. If any notions or ideas of old, we've got 2 modos, modo, correlatives. So now, not inscure nostris, probably not obscurely in my own words, or fidelita in the words of the ancients you recognise. So you can take some good counsel. You ought to do this. Either if he's put it in his own words, or if he's used the words of the ancients literally, just as each one for itself, either vel should be narrated or transferred. So if it's just narrated, it means it's spoken. If it's transferred, it means he's taken the words and borrowed them. And suggessor usually means we got suggest from that. Literally means heaping things up together. So each thing it's given a suggestion from its own quality, I suppose, whether he should narrate it literally or transfer it into his own words. I could be wrong. Okay, 5. We're at 10 minutes nearly anyway. 4. We ought to imitate, there's some verbs, apes, which are bees in a certain way, which vagantor, they're vagrants, they move around and they pick at flowers. Then whatever they have a tool or onto whatever they've taken away, they dispone it, they place down and divide through favoses, which are honeycombs, and the juice of various things into one sapor, into one taste, a certain mixture, they're mutant. So they're changing all these juices of these different flowers into one certain taste and with its own proprietary of spirit or whatever you want to interpret that as. 6. Nos means us. Quoque also. Quicquid, whatever or anything. Quesimus. So the nos and the mus pretty much are the same thing. So we search for whatever there is also in diverse readings and we commit it to pen so that they coalesce in some sort of order. Actually, these two go to digerenting. That comes from digero, the verb. For also, it is better preserved or whatever in the mind. Things that are distinct we'll take for now. And this distinction itself is not without a certain fermentation by which conditors, usually salt and pepper and things like that, they're conditors. So certain fermentations, if we're sprinkling a lot of universal things into one use of taste, they're confunded, they're poured in with various libamenters, so that even if or although what appears from where it's taken, so you could take an author from where he's taken, it will appear aliud, I'm guessing. So we're using etiam, si, and tamen, that they're contrary things here, so that it seems different than from where it was taken. It appears that it can be learnt that from where it is sumptum again, so that even if something is apparent from where you take it, say you quote Cicero or something, it will seem different nevertheless than from where you've taken it, the way you structured it. Vidimus, we see what is in our body, nature to do it, without any of our work. It looks like sine ulla opera nostra. That'll do for today.